Welcome back to Beyond the Lens Productions, your source for all things automotive, where we continue our journey through the history of the Pontiac Grand Prix and picking out where we left off with the 1973 model year, which would ignite a sales record run for the GP. GM had just endured a historic strike in 1970, and what was supposed to be a total redesign of the GP in 72 got delayed until 1973. Although the designers did a great job of continuing the car's personal luxury combined with a sporty flair, this generation represented the beginning of GM combining A and G body platforms. Sadly, the bold statement the GP had previously made was beginning to lose ground. Like its interdivisional cousins, the Grand Prix featured a new colonnade roof style with a fixed rear opera windows. This new roof design was a result of new government safety regulations, and the new design combined the graceful look of a hardtop with the additional rollover protection afforded by a beefy B-pillar. Up front, the headlight and grille design recalled the look of the previous generation GP with its large vertical slatted grille and dual headlights finished off with a seared bezel. Like the earlier cars, the turn signals were cut into the leading edge of the front fenders. The Grand Prix slim front bumper jutted out ahead of the grille in just another bow to the safety regulations of the day. It was suspended by energy absorbers that bounced back from minor impacts. The most apparent difference to this generation of the GP was the loss of the long, almost exaggerated hoodline of the previous generation to a much more subdued modern version that would become the standard G-body platform. But in keeping with the tradition of the hood, still featured a familiar ironing board cutout that came to a point at the grille. The rear of the new GP featured a new interpretation of its predecessor's sculpted rear deck lid. While the slotted tail lamps were no longer set in the rear bumper, the design was an evolutionary step in the GP's history and integrated the protruding rear bumper into the overall design as well as could be expected. Two versions of the GP were available, the base model and the sportier SJ model. The SJ model featured a larger standard engine and a radial tuned suspension RTS, which would give the car a much more sporty feel. Inside, the buyer would find a custom padded steering wheel and African Crossfire mahogany instrument panel insert, and the J designation for the base model was dropped for this model year. The basic body design was now fully shared with Chevy and Oldsmobile instead of just the roofline that had been the case before, which meant the GP was now forced to use the 116-inch wheelbase, which represented a 2-inch loss from 1972. Further watering down of GP's uniqueness was the redesign of the A body, which was now very similar to the G body. In fact, the Buick Century, Regal, as well as the Olds Cutlass were AG body crossbreeds, utilizing the G body room on the shored 112-inch wheelbase. Confused yet? Good, because it gets better. Pontiac would introduce the Grand Am this year, which added to the competition for the GP and the overlapping in its interdivisional competition, and unfortunately, this would increase in the coming years. A little known fact about the legendary 455 Super Duty V8 is that it was slated to be used in the GP as well as the GTO and the Grand Am, and even mentioned in some dealer catalogs, but it never came to pass. Instead, it was only offered in the Firebird Formula and the Trans Am. Despite some of the things mentioned here, the 73 GP was a huge success story, selling almost 154,000 units that year, almost 21,000 of which were SJs. In fact, GM's G-bodies were all selling amazingly well this year, with the Monte Carlo selling a very impressive 233,689 units, and the Olds Cutlass Supreme selling almost 246,000 units. As you can see, 1973 was both an exciting and a challenging year for the Grand Prix. So check back again very soon to see how Pontiac responds to this with the 1974 Grand Prix and beyond. And thank you for watching this video, and have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to like the video before you leave a comment below, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of any upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.